Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. I'm Peter Loshek. Today is Monday, June 5th, and we are continuing our coverage of the 2017 NBA Finals right now with Troy West from TroyWins.com. Game 3, of course, is on Wednesday, and it is a situation that we all sort of anticipated. Two easy, comfortable wins by the Warriors in games 1 and 2, and then the question is, what can we expect from Cleveland in Game 3? Are the refs going to give them a little bit of a boost in Game 3 or not? Are they going to be able to make adjustments and suddenly play much more competitively than they did in Games 1 and 2? We anticipated this, and we're actually going to give our picks on that game tomorrow on Tuesday, which will give us an extra day or so to do some analysis and to digest the situation. Right, Troy? Right now we're going to take a look at the futures odds in general that the market is offering, but just in terms of the series right now, this is what we were expecting, right, Troy?
It is, absolutely. I went on record the first 2 games and took Golden State in a bloodbath. We got both those. You and I both went on record to say that the minus 250 had a lot of value. That's sure looking pretty good at this point. And, I also went on record that Kevin Durant would win the MVP. That's in good shape. And I also think this could potentially be a sweep we have here on hand.
Yeah. And everyone who was talking about that said that Game 3 was going to be the key game as far as a sweep is concerned, the toughest game. So we'll get to that tomorrow on Tuesday. Watch for that video. Troy and I will break that one down as best we can at that time. Right now, though, we're going to take a look at futures odds. Obviously, the futures odds for the series that are out right now. Also, though, futures odds have been released, some early futures odds for the NBA title 2018. And we'll talk about that in a second. But as far as the series is concerned, yeah, Troy, we said that we liked Golden State at about minus 250. I mentioned that I made a pretty healthy size bet on Golden State just to win the series at the beginning of the series at minus 255. And now at Pinnacle, Golden State is minus 1625 to win the series. And on the other side, the Cavs are plus 1048. So just to hedge out there, I could hedge out there and get a pretty nice locked-in profit. And it was pretty obvious that Golden State was very likely going to win the first 2 games at home. So that might have been the best way to approach the series, just to bet Golden State to win the series and then hedge out at this point in time, although maybe not. Do you think that it would be worth hedging? I mean, is there any way the Cavs come back and win 4 out of the next 5 games straight up?
I would say no chance in hell, but that's very interesting, Pete. I had a conversation with several of my clients yesterday that are kind of asking the same question you're asking now, but barring any form of something dramatic happening, such as an injury, which we know in sports betting, stuff like that can happen. Shit happens, right? But in this situation right now, Pete, I'd say no way in hell that I would even consider hedging this bet. If anything, I'd just keep betting Golden State in these single games like we have been at TroyWins.com. This team is rocking and rolling. I'm telling you, like I said from day one and before these series started, this is Kevin Durant's team. This is Kevin Durant's series, and he's going to be putting on an NBA championship ring here in probably less than a week because I truly believe they're going to sweep. If not, they're going to win this thing in 5 without a doubt. So, Pete, cash your ticket. Don't hedge. Don't waste any money hedging. Cash your ticket. The Warriors are winning the finals.
Right. Absolutely. To hedge or not to hedge. I mean, if I felt like I overbet my series bet, then maybe I would hedge out a little bit, but I don't feel like I did. So I'm just going to ride with it. Minus 255 was the price that you could have had before Game 1. Now after Game 2, minus 1625 at Pinnacle right now for Golden State. All right. So let's take a look at some futures odds that have been released to win the NBA championship in 2018. I'm quoting current odds from 5 dimes. No surprise, Golden State is the favorite. In fact, they're the odds-on favorite. They're right now minus 155. Minus 155 at 5 dimes to win the NBA championship in 2018. Second choice is the Cavs at plus 275, and then no other team has odds shorter than 12 to 1. The Celtics are the third choice at 12 to 1. Then you have the Spurs at 15 to 1, and then the fifth choice is Houston all the way down at 40 to 1. So this is basically being seen as, I guess you could call it a 4-horse race, but really it's just a 1-horse race. The Golden State Warriors minus 155 as of right now to win the NBA championship. Is that going a little bit overboard? Do you think those odds are appropriate? Because, I mean, if you look at all the studs in their lineup, everyone's still in their prime. Steph Curry, only 29 right now, so everyone's in their late 20s. They don't have a very deep bench, but they can affect that. They can make some changes in the offseason to boost their bench, to bolster their bench. JaVale McGee is still young. What do you think? Golden State minus 155 at 5 dimes currently to win the NBA title 2018.
Well, absolutely. It's the smart bet, without a doubt. The NBA right now is so screwed up with these super teams that we've seen being formed. And I think now next year you may see some more super teams be formed. There's a lot of talks right now that Chris Paul may go to the San Antonio Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
I think even with Chris Paul, I mean, if you get a healthy Kawhi Leonard and a healthy Aldridge, they may be able to compete. So I do think there's some value there. I do think there's some true value there. But even with Chris Paul, in addition to the San Antonio Spurs, even if they are healthy, I still don't think they stand a chance. I don't think anybody stands a chance against the Golden State Warriors in a 7-game series. You have to beat them 4 times out of 7. My God, Pete, they're 29-1 since mid-March. How the hell are you going to beat them 4 out of 7? I don't see it happening. This Golden State team, like you said, Pete, they're in the prime. And not only are they in their prime, these guys are playing team basketball. Draymond Green, Curry, Thompson, Durant, they're all playing team basketball. They all understand their role. They're an all-star team, but they're an all-star team that's been together now for quite some time. They know how to distribute the ball. They're not like the all-star team in the all-star game where it's just a one-man show. These guys distribute the ball. They know where they're going to be at in the passing lanes. They're playing their best basketball. My God, even at 155, you have to bet them, don't you?
Nah, my God, Troy, you said, my God, they're 29-1 since mid-March. Okay, fine, but I'm telling you, if you bet them right now, my God, you got a whole season for injuries to crop up, all right?
Sure.
And let's say one of these guys goes down with an injury, very possible. Steph Curry is not proven to be the most reliable guy physically, for entire season. Kevin Durant has obviously had injuries at times. If 2 of those guys go down with a somewhat significant injury, my God, then you got a minus 155 futures bet on Golden State. That's not looking too promising all of a sudden.
Sure, I think a lot of people probably said that at the start of this year when they were placing their prop bets. I think a lot of people wish they had the minus, I think, or plus 200 at the start of last year. I think they wish they would have bet that versus now you're at, like you said, Pete, minus 1,600. So I think if you get your money early, you have a lot better chance. I just would be shocked. Golden State now should have won the championship 3 straight years. Let's be real with that. And it's going to be really interesting to see how many championships they win over the next 3 years. I think your odds are in your favor to take Golden State. Yes, injuries can happen. We know that that's the inevitable at this point. But I think the Warriors are the bet. But like I said, Pete, Boston, they're going to have a good chance. They got the #1 pick, but I just think they're too young. They're still too raw. But they have a fantastic coach, a great bench, and a very good, strong young nucleus. But I don't think they're ready to take down Cleveland or Golden State. But then, like I said, I think some of these free agents, you got Paul George on the market. You got Chris Paul on the market. A lot of these guys, they want to get their championship ring too. So I would not be surprised throughout free agency to see some more super teams start to be formed. It's sad to say, but it's going to happen, Pete.
Yeah, and then, the Spurs at 15-1, just because of the coach and the system, and obviously Kawhi Leonard as the basis of that team, that's always a little bit tempting. Anytime you can get the Spurs with Popovich and a little bit of talent already on the roster at a big underdog line, that's always something to think about, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens with the Spurs because, like you said, they've got that nucleus there. Injuries were the bug of them at the end of this year. Who knows what they could have been if they were healthy throughout the whole year. But it's going to be a lot of fun to see, will they pair, Chris Paul with Kawhi Leonard and LaMarcus Aldridge? And if that's their big 3, how do they fare with the Warriors? And it'll be interesting to see if anybody, like you said, wants to pair with James Harden. Who's going to go there? Where will Paul George go? A lot of X factors out there. Kyle Lowry, another fantastic free agent. It's going to be a lot of fun to see where these guys end up and what super teams are formed. But it screwed up the NBA. But as far as future odds go, keep an eye on to see where these free agents head out.
And then let me ask you about the Cavs. Right now, they're the second choice at 5 dimes at plus 275. I guess you'd have to put them there as far as what the exact odds would be. That's up for debate. But do you think that LeBron James is getting a little bit on in years and that basically his time as an elite player that can, carry a team on his back and should be a favorite to win a championship are basically coming to an end now?
I wouldn't go that far. This guy's definitely not done. As you know, the guy loves to rest. He rests throughout the year. And, we thought this year he may take a little bit of a decline. And if anything, he's only gotten better. And if there's one thing to say about LeBron, Pete, he's going to be out recruiting. This guy seems like he's his own recruiter. He went out and goes out and gets guys that he wants to get to pair with. And damn well other people in the NBA seeing what Golden State's going to do. They're going to want to team up with LeBron. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see how his recruiting efforts go in the offseason. And I think he's still got another 3-4 years left of good basketball. So Cleveland, without a doubt, will be right in the mix. Wouldn't be surprised if we see these two teams face off again next year for a fourth time, Pete.
All right, well, that's obviously what the odds are currently saying at 5 dimes. Again, Cleveland and Golden State are the only two teams with odds less than 12-1 currently at 5 dimes to win the NBA championship. All right, so of course there's a ton of stuff that's going to happen in terms of the draft and trades and free agency, and that will affect these odds a huge amount by the time the first game tips off for the 2017-2018 regular season. But if you had to give a pick right now to win the 2018 NBA title and not Golden State at -155. You had to pick one, not Golden State. Who would you pick? Would you pick the Cavs at +275, the Celtics at 12-1, the Spurs at 15-1, Houston at 40-1, the Clippers and Wizards both at 50-1, and or any other team at 75-1 or longer?
It's a great question. The Cavs to me are kind of the obvious pick because they're likely going to be there. And then, in the Eastern Conference, their road to get to the finals is so easy. But I'm going to go with the San Antonio Spurs at 15-1. If you said, like you said, Golden State off the table, 15-1. I truly do believe that Chris Paul is going to pair up with this team. I just think he'd be stupid and silly to stay at the Clippers. You look at what they've done over the last 3-4 years with the super teams they've had. They've done absolutely nothing. So I think Chris Paul is very likely to pair up with Popovich, pair up with Kawhi Leonard, LaMarcus Aldridge. And with that team, if they can somehow find a way to stay healthy for an entire season, they're going to be my best bet at 15-1.
All right. Thanks so much, Troy West, for all your analysis here. Troy West's website, again, is troywins.com. And Troy and I will be back tomorrow on Tuesday for our analysis, breakdown, and picks for Game 3. Thanks so much, Troy. Well, this episode of The Odds Couple is over. But if you give us a like and click SBR's logo at the bottom of the screen to subscribe, then you'll get all the upcoming videos as soon as they come out. And don't forget to take advantage of our website. There's free picks, live betting lines, and sportsbook reviews and ratings guides, and a whole lot more. Check it out now.